and you're going to realize why I'm upset. Because while I'm dealing with all this, you're there cashing the checks and not even thinking to say hello. But the simple fact is, right, you make all this money off me, got all that clout off me.
Hey, exploited you.
And then block me, cut me off over nothing, over a simple fucking what? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Because you're disposable. Because you're disposable. You're content. You're not a person to him. Just like all the people that he made fun of back in the Content Cops. The difference between you and them is he's pretending to be your friend to get that content because he doesn't want to be seen as the bad guy anymore. You were just a means to an end on that redemption arc of his, and it worked for the time. But he's still a piece of shit. He's the same piece of shit he's always been.
Yeah. And you know what gets to me the most is that documentary is some of the only footage I have left of my mother's own voice.
So the last thing he has to remember of his mother, the last footage he's got, is footage from a documentary that was used to mock him and his family. Probably shouldn't watch this, but we're gonna see what AirSoft Fatty, iDubbbz one successful
Ladies and gentlemen,
documentary has to say about his content cop iDubbbz, because he did a documentary on this kid, even though he is kind of a lolcow. Let's see.
Blunt, to the point, and just get this over with. Because this is not an easy video.
Talk about it, buddy.
First off, Ian, what's going on? Remember.
God, I hate when YouTubers do that. They act like they're obligated to make a video. This is not an easy video for me to make. Then don't make it. Then don't make it. If it's going to be something you regret or you don't want to do, then just don't do it. Phantom Stars. Okay, I'll remember to put that at some point. I'm still saving up for 10 on her. And on you. Okay, anyway, go ahead, AirSoft Fatty.
For me, right? Hope so. Because the scene that you come back recently in an official capacity allowed me to officially say, welcome back. Something the fans don't know about, but you sure as hell do, is the fact that I have reached out plenty of times through email the past year. I've called your old number. I've texted your old number, got nothing.
Let me guess, he's been ignoring you?
You blocked me on Instagram. And on YouTube, it seems you've hit all my comments because neither you nor anyone who watches those videos ever replies to me or acts like they've even seen my comments. That being said,
yeah, because he doesn't really care about you. You were a thing he could do for clout and for fun. You were more of an experiment, more of a curiosity. He was exploiting you. He was making fun of you. The documentary wasn't there to show a side of you that he wanted people to see. It was there to make fun of you. That's what the fuck he was doing. Moon charge. How about that one? Let's switch weapons with anybody else? I don't think so. Oh, okay. Alright, anyway. Yeah, because you're a lolcow.
it does appear that this has become the one way I have to reach out to you. So firstly, I want to talk about Full Force. You know, that beautiful documentary you made on me from all those years ago, back in 2019. And you see, my father taught me a little saying that I've been looking at that documentary through the past few weeks, and I've realized something. And my father's saying was that the figures don't lie, but liars will always find a way to figure. So let's look at the figures. Let's look at the facts.
Not sure that makes sense, but okay, bud.
So Full Force is your #1 most viewed video, and it is the video that has made you the most fucking money, period. Well,
this is true. Exposing the lolcow, putting you up on display. I mean, even though he's doing it to make fun of you, yeah, it was profitable for him. Can't deny that. Ian, like, when the fucking lolcow gets to dunk on you, you know you've messed up.
Both in sponsorship money and ad views. Don't get me wrong. I appreciate it a lot. I really do. It brought a lot of attention. You brought a light to my crazy ass life. And I I will forever be grateful for this opportunity. 24 million views later, all these years later, right?
24 million views?
We're here,
Jesus.
right now, in a season of airing dirty laundry. Spring cleaning, as they call it. So, it's time to air some out. Call me a content detective if you would. Because...
Did this lolcow just stumble into a good video series? The content detective? Analyzing content cops and bad content instead of just... Oh, that's good. Fuck, why didn't I think of that? I ain't gonna lie, AirSoft Fatty's kind of cooking right now.
There's a lot of things that need to be addressed about my relationship with Ian and Full Force in general. So, let's address this, all right? When you first came to Battle Creek, Ian, that was a huge honor. And I mean that. It was a huge honor. If my mother were here, she'd tell you about how when you first pulled up, I didn't think you were real. I thought it was fake. But then I looked out the window, and there the fuck you were. And I said to myself, no fucking way, it's real. Man, you were a fucking legend, my guy. The thing is, you know... During filming, you shot me a lot of looks. You shot your camera guy a lot of looks.
Ooh.
Not kind looks, per se. And you made a lot of jokes.
Yeah, he didn't actually like you. You were content. AirSoft Fatty's that weird kind of lolcow where he's like self-aware, but normally doesn't care. But it looks like Ian's put himself in a position where the lolcow gets to dunk on him. Gets to be like, you know what? I think people might actually like me more than you now. That's how far you've fallen, Ian. Jesus Christ.
Jokes that I, at the time, had flying over my head because I was starstruck. But, now that I look back at it, I really don't appreciate the way that you portrayed Robert. Now, I get it, me and him were fighting at the time. We had bad blood. But you made him look pretty Dahmer-like. You made him look pretty Dahmer-like.
Dahmer-like? I'm hoping he'll elaborate on this. I don't think Ian portrayed him as someone who eats people. But like a psychopath? Does he mean like a psychopath? Go on.
And in reality, he's more like a Vegeta to my Goku. That's simple. He's not Dahmer, dude. And you know, the lightsaber fight at the end? That was pitiful. I'm gonna be honest, it was fucking pitiful. Both on my part and yours. You never were honoring me. At all. You weren't honoring my originality.
Yeah. I'm wondering if he'll put two and two together on the freak show element. He wasn't honoring you, he was putting you up on display like a freak at a freak show. You were something to point and laugh at. Because iDubbbz is still iDubbbz. As much as he's regretful for the edgy things he did, blah, 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 and all of that shit he says, the reality is he still likes making fun of people. He's just found a passive-aggressive right way to do it now. The safe, edgy way to do it. But at his core, that's who he is. He's the basement-dwelling fucking internet bully.
You weren't honoring my content. No, you were just making jokes. Jokes.
At your expense. Jokes. Yep, jokes at your expense.
And, you know, that's all fine. That's all fine and dandy. But what makes me upset about it is you claim to be on a redemption arc, and yet you've completely glossed over someone that you've fucked over majorly. Like, fucking majorly. Let me ask you this. Ian, okay? Let's say your kid develops a skill, and it gets him a lot of views. Or maybe he's just a weird guy in general and gets a lot of views, right? Regardless.
Okay.
Your kid gets to a point that this famous guy comes and makes a documentary on him, and this documentary becomes slowly his most highest viewed and highest grossing film he's ever made. but then your son doesn't see a penny of it. And then not only that, but calls your son out to the national anthem for a baseball game. It doesn't fucking pay him. And when he's there, don't give him no fucking respect. Because I'm almost fucking certain you and Anissa would raise hell. Straight up fucking hell.
He's right. The lolcow's right. I mean, it's easy to call out Ian's hypocrisy, but yeah. I feel like he's low-key kind of wishing that on their kid, that if they have a kid, they're wishing that their kid will be a lolcow, that their kid will grow up and start a YouTube channel and just be mocked and just taken for a ride on the internet. And you know what? Karma's a bitch.
D&D level of 7-layered hell. But I'm supposed to keep shut about it. I get that we were making lots of entertaining moments. We made content gold. But the problem is, that tarnished me a little bit. Like, badly. And you know, at first, it was life-changing. I started being able to pay bills with the money I made from YouTube. I started getting major views and everything else. But something that came with it was the fucking trolling. I have come to know that this internet has some fairly nasty people on it, okay? Because let me tell you something. I will give you a very good fucking example. And you're going to realize why I'm upset. Because while I'm dealing with all this, you're there cashing the checks and not even thinking to say hello. But the simple fact is, right, you make all this money off me. You got all that clout off me.
Yeah, he exploited you.
And then you block me. You cut me off over nothing. Over a simple fucking what? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Because you're disposable. Because you're disposable. You're content. You're not a person to him. Just like all the people that he made fun of back in the content cops. The difference between you and them is he's pretending to be your friend to get that content because he doesn't want to be seen as the bad guy anymore. You were just a means to an end on that redemption arc of his. And it worked for the time. But he's still a piece of shit. He's the same piece of shit he's always been. I mean, at least he was honest about it back when he was doing Content Cop.
Communication skills, buddy. They're like a potato. You don't communicate worth shit. And you know, what gets to me the most is that documentary is some of the only footage I have left of my mother's own voice.
Oh, that's rough. I didn't realize that his mom had died. So the last thing he has to remember of his mother, the last footage he's got, is footage from a documentary that was used to mock him and his family. This takes like Ian's fake activism, his fake redemption arc turn, all the more shittier. Like if this doesn't highlight the true nature of iDubbbz and how big a piece of shit he actually is, I don't know what does. Dude, that's rough. That's fucking rough, man. I didn't expect to come out of this feeling soft for AirSoft Fatty. I was expecting to have a few chuckles, but dude, Ian did him extra dirty. Dude, man, fuck iDubbbz. Fuck iDubbbz. This is next level.
How do you think that feels? That's the one video on the internet, maybe out of 3, that has your mother's voice in it. And I don't have any private videos or anything. I have one photo album from their wedding. How do you think that fucking feels, man? You literally put me on a pedestal. You literally made like a Roman family. You were like, oh, baby boy born. We take him to woods. We put him on a pedestal, and we leave him there for the wolves. And that's what you did. You took this infant Spartan and you said, here's your pedestal. There's a wolf there, wolf over there, wolf there. There's one over there just staring at me, waiting me to leave. And I ain't gonna leave you no armor. I'm not gonna leave you no weapon. bye. And that's what you fucking did. You left me to the goddamn wolves. Here I am. Still here. Still walking, motherfucker. I just walked into your fucking camp. Fucking torn ass eye. Fucking carrying a wood spear. I'm ready to fight. I really do. Just wanted to legitimately ask because I'm getting to a...
That cat gonna attack him? You getting that cat kind of riled up there, Fatty? Look, I mean, I know you're worked up, and rightfully so. Ian did you dirty. You have my sympathy. But, pet the cat or something, man. Calm him down.
A point now where I'm getting fucking emotional. I want to ask, was I ever legitimately interesting to you, Ian? Or was I another fucking joke of yours? Another goddamn video for you to make money off of, like one of your stupid content cops.
Yeah, it was that one.
It's a tough pill to swallow. When
I can imagine.
People to this day make fun of you. Because when you were a little kid, a little autistic kid, you broke down and turned to the one place you felt safe turning to. When you called me for Creator Clash 1 to do the anthem, I was honored. But something that you never told people, and I kept my mouth shut for the longest time, is I never got paid to do Creator Clash.
Hold up. Harley said all of the fighters on Creator Clash 1 got paid. And even got a fight night bonus. Sorry, fight of the night bonus. Whatever. Same thing. They all got paid. Why would AirSoft Fatty be the exception to that rule? Like, it couldn't be more blatant exploitation. Why would you not pay him? How did he not get the same deal as all the others?
No, you guys want to know how Creator Clash went? I'm just going to knock the whole Creator Clash thing out. Like, right fucking now. Okay?
Please do.
Because this is where I'm going to get the most mad. I went out there for a second time. Gave you your most viral fucking moment for your stupid boxing event, right? And don't get me wrong, it's not stupid. It's a good cause, right? But the fact...
But... Wait, well, he said second time. If you're talking about Creator Clash 2, that was never for charity. They even admitted in a podcast. There might be a charity element to it, but they made it to hang out with their friends. You were clearly there for content. But the fact that you didn't get paid, that needs to be called out. So he pays all his friends but doesn't pay Fatty? And no charity money was made during the second Creator Clash. There was during the first, not during the second. But he said he went out there twice. I'm assuming, did he fight in the second one? I don't know. I didn't watch the second Creator Clash. Did AirSoft Fatty return?
I'm pissed, dude.
You should be.
I went there. I wasn't getting paid. You flew me out the night before. I didn't get checked into a hotel room till close to fucking midnight. The next morning, when I went to the event, I was supposed to have a spot I could go to where I could be alone because I don't do too good with large crowds. You know, where I could just go practice for a bit, get myself in the mood. And I got put in a little side room.
Like a green room.
With the catering, with people coming in and out.
You stuck it with the fucking caterers? Like in the kitchen area? I ain't realized they did him that fucking dirty, man. What the fuck?
I'm like nervous as shit. And it was so bad to a point when the arena manager came in to get something. And I was sat there kind of nervous. I didn't like people just walking in on me like that. It's one thing to know you're going on stage and know you're going to do it. It's another thing we just randomly have people walk in. He came up to me, and what's the first thing he says to me? Hey, man, I'm a veteran, and, I just want to make sure you're not about to go out there and fuck this all up, right? Like, you're not about to go out there and wreck this thing, are you?
Dude, like the level of disrespect given to AirSoft Fatty. Look, I know he's a lolcow, but standards have to be like, you're putting on a professional event. Like, there have to be standards applied to all fighters. Equal treatment. Like, you have to treat it like a professional event. And they're treating this kid like he's a fucking burden. But they have to have there for the content, but Separate but equal is not equal, Ian. I mean, obviously, he didn't even get fucking equal pay.
Oh, fuck yeah!
If there's any truth to the stuff he's saying. So, again, this is the first time I've heard of this. We're only hearing it from AirSoft Fatty. If anybody comes forward to corroborate his story and be like, no, he didn't get paid, or if there's any other fighters who didn't get paid, then maybe there'll be an explanation there. But I want to hear Harley speak on it, because Harley said all the fighters got paid, which makes me wonder, did you really talk to all the fighters, or was AirSoft Fatty just like that ignored? Like he was just shoved into a corner to the point that like other fighters and promoters might have even forgot he existed. God, I feel bad for the kid, man. I really do.
That's what I want to fucking hear before I perform. Oh, and what's fucking better? I got one sentence with you the whole fucking trip. The guy who brought me out to do it said one sentence to me the entire time.
What'd he say? I mean, what was the sentence?
How I didn't get mad. Nah. Mother side of me's too fired up now. I sat there and gave you another legendary performance. And again, what was I left with? Nothing. I didn't get paid. I didn't get no fucking sponsorship.
You know what, AirSoft Fatty? You remind me of some of my family members, man. I grew up around people like you. I don't dislike you guys. And I damn sure won't treat you like your content. I'll actually hang out with you and be your friend if you want to hang out, Fatty. If you want to fly out here and make some videos with me, fuck it. We'll do some live streams together. We can hang out. We can hang out, AirSoft Fatty. Respectfully, not just, for content. And I will never block you. I mean, unless you do something absolutely ridiculous to earn being blocked. Just saying, man, I'll give you the respect that you deserve. Hit me up, Fatty.
And don't get me wrong, I was happy to do it unpaid because it was for a good cause. But I was expecting to at least be able to hang with you at some point before the fight, or get more than just a sentence, or maybe have you say something like, hey, good luck, like I did to you during the one little sentence exchange we had.
That's
I
fair.
said to you, yeah, good luck out there, man. I hope you do good, man. You're doing something good here. Kiss your fucking ass. You don't seem to understand, Ian, that every time you've caused drama for yourself, in some capacity, it's always trickled down to me. You made that content cop. And a lot of people...
He actually put thought into this. A lot more thought than I thought, AirSoft Fatty was going to do. I thought this was going to be just a desperate plea for attention, but looks like he's got some legitimate gripes. And he took the time to make sure that he did a well-structured video. I mean, he's looking at his phone. Motherfucker's got notes. I think he might have... legit gripes with iDubbbz. This isn't just I want to jump on the hate train. I think he may have legitimately been done wrong. And he was nice enough to not say anything about it because he was bamboozled into thinking he was iDubbbz's friend. And then out of nowhere it gets blocked and treated like shit. You know what? This is the karma that I would say. This is the fuck around and find out moment. You fucked around with somebody. You forgot about him. And you know what? This does need to come back to bite him. And I could imagine that, yeah, it probably trickled down to him. He's forever tied to iDubbbz. I mean, that documentary means he's forever tied to him. He's never going to escape the shadow of iDubbbz. Which is great when iDubbbz is successful, but when iDubbbz goes down the path he's gone, you're forever associated with him. You're going to get hate by association. I do legitimately feel bad for AirSoft Fatty here.
People are mentioning to me, I couldn't escape it. I never could escape your fucking gravity. And yet here I am, and I still stand. And you know what? Okay. I'm still standing, and I've slipped and tripped a bunch of times, fallen on my face a few times, but I'm still fucking standing, okay? Anyhow, this is kind of my first time addressing this in all a formal way, a more thought out and more actual, precise.
I mean, the timing's probably bad. I'm not sure how many people are going to watch it or even take it seriously because they're going to just assume what I assume because I almost didn't watch this. But boredom set in and I don't feel like going to bed. Ever had one of those nights where you're just tired but you can't sleep? Like tired but you don't want to go to bed? Like I'm in that weird middle zone where I'm tired, I'm yawning, I'm clearly tired. But I don't feel like tired enough to lay down and go to sleep. If that makes sense. Which leads me to watching AirSoft Fatty. You probably waited too late to talk about this, Fatty. You should have talked about it immediately after while it was still fresh and called him out on it. Problem is he had a lot of support then, so I can see why you didn't, because at the time he still had a lot of support and people probably wouldn't be on your side as hard. I understand why you picked this time, but it also has the downside of not being taken as seriously or even getting the attention it deserves because everybody's kind of moved on from that. I'm here for it though, man. I don't have any clout to give to help you out, but for what it's worth, I believe you. I legitimately feel bad for you. Kids like you were the kids I was friends with in high school. You know, the ones no one else wanted to be friends with. I was always the guy that was like, I'll give the guy a chance. And some of them weren't worth being friends with. Some of them were pieces of shit and they earned the hate. But a lot of them were just those weird kids that were more fun to make fun of than they were to be friends with. And I was that guy willing to be their friend. So, I don't know. Maybe I got a soft spot for locals. I was a local sympathizer long before local was a term.
Nice way. And don't you think it's kind of weird, the position you put me in? It was solved by your boogeyman, Sam Hyde.
Ooh.
Yeah. Your Baba Yaga took care of me.
Damn, he even knows, like...
Man that I should have been afraid of because
he even knows, like, how to stab at him, man. He knows what blows to do.
He became my messiah, and he helped me. And that's your arch nemesis right there. But
he's like saying Voldemort's name over here. Fatty's going hard, man. He's going for the kill shot here. This is legit anger. It's like a woman scorn. I mean, he's not a woman. I don't know. Maybe I don't tell him how to identify.
By the way, that wasn't even orchestrated. I didn't even realize that was the dude that was fucking with you. You know, my best friend B.
Oh shit! He didn't even realize. Okay, giving myself a visual cue to cut there so I can watch a cutscene real quick. We will.
He originally reached out to Sam for me because, like, I was going through some shit. I was going homeless that fucking week when I reached out to him.
Jesus.
Because, guess what? Some of the trolls that came from you were calling my landlord at the time, making death threats to a point that I was asked to move.
Damn. Wasn't that your big thing? iDubbbz, wasn't that your big thing? Is you didn't like the audience you'd cultivated and you felt so guilty about it? And you just left AirSoft Fatty to deal with them. Like, you made your video, you moved on, and you didn't clean up the mess you made. He didn't. This just goes to show that he didn't actually feel bad about any of that. He just realized that the climate had changed. That being edgy was demonetizable on YouTube. It was no longer profitable. And that if he wanted to stay relevant, and he had to garner a new audience. It's all just business moves, business decisions. There's nothing real behind anything this man says. And when the pendulum swings back in the other direction and people get tired of the woke shit and being edgy is trending again, and the platforms are willing to let you be edgy without demonetizing you, then he'll jump back on that train too. I'm calling it right now. Assuming he still has an audience left at that point and he hasn't completely sabotaged his career. There's nothing real behind iDubbbz. He's a clout chaser. That's why he went after the big targets with Content Cop. Because it got him clout. I would imagine in the beginning Content Cop was real. And he was just a guy doing what we've probably all done, which is why Content Cop worked so well. Because he was the guy saying the things we were all thinking. We've all sat down and watched successful YouTubers that we did not understand why they were successful. That just seemed like they were doing the same thing everyone else was doing, but why did they get the success? And it doesn't mean their content's bad. But it's puzzling to some people. I can understand right time, right place. As you look at someone like Moist Critical, his content's not bad, but it's not for me. I sit down and look at him and I get it. He's got the every guy appeal because that's what he is. He's just a normal dude. And he gives you that feeling like I could do what he does. Like, how come I don't have the views that he's got? Why did he get it and I didn't? He's not doing anything I can't do. When you can't see the talent behind the success, for some people that's frustrating. And Ian was clearly one of those people. So he'd sit down and he'd look at somebody like Jinx, who's just watching things while sitting on his bed, reacting to them poorly. I get it. I react to shit here. But I put in way more commentary, thought, and analysis into the stuff that I watch. Whether or not you find value in my analysis or agree with it's a different story. But the point is I put that work in. I'm not just sitting there going, that's crazy. Yeah, no. There's actual content and value added. Value has different meaning for different people, but pretty much everybody was in agreement that somebody like Jinx was just one of those guys that was right place, right time. He wasn't doing anything. He was doing lazy content. And there's nothing wrong with lazy content, but he was doing the laziest form of it that everyone else was doing. But his was the one that blew up and no one else did. There were a ton of other people doing what he was doing, but they didn't blow up the way that he did. And it becomes frustrating. And iDubbbz Content Cop was the voice of those people. And I believe that's what it was in the beginning. But then he saw the views. Then he saw the numbers. And then he saw that first YouTube paycheck. And he wanted those views to get bigger. So he started going after creators who weren't doing lazy content. Who were just doing content that was cringe. And for a lot of people, cringe is popular. I mean, it's easy to hate on the Paul brothers. You know, it's easy to hate on Rice Gum. It was easy to hate on Leafy. It was easy to hate on those people. Because they've got that villain arc appeal to them. They're not good people. They're people that, you know, make their careers and their content out of making fun of other people or just being jackasses. When some people like watching that. But their content wasn't low effort. There was a lot more work put into the videos that the Paul brothers made than anything Jinx did. So he started going after bigger and bigger creators for the clout. And I think it's been mostly clout chasing ever since. Which is why when the pendulum swung in this direction and being edgy was no longer allowed, and now you have to start watching what you say, and now you can't make fun of intrinsic attributes or bully people or blah, blah, blah. Well, now he needed to be the hero. He needs to always be the hero. At the core, that's what iDubbbz is. He's the guy that has to be liked. He can't be the bad guy. And when he looks back at his old content cops, people view him as the bad guy by today's standards. And when the pendulum swings back the other way, and being the soy boy makes you a bad guy, and people praise the edginess again, mock my words, he'll jump right back on that edgy train. All these morals, all this empathy, all this stuff he claims to have learned later in life will be forgotten. Calling it now. Assuming that there's anybody still willing to watch him. And I think it's so obvious that even the locale, even the autistic kid, I think even AirSoft Fatty can see it.
And given a 1 week notice. So my buddy B reached out on a whim and got me on Fish Tank Season 1. So by the way, that wasn't even fucking orchestrated. I didn't even know who the guy was until after I was already on my way. And you know what the worst fucking part is? I reached out to you first.
I forgot he did Fish Tank. And yeah, it sounds like he still reached out to iDubbbz. Like he was trying not to do that kind of content. He was trying to... He legitimately thought iDubbbz was his friend, man. This is a guy who, like, iDubbbz is like, they say don't meet your heroes. Sounds like iDubbbz was the inspiration, one of his... He was a fanboy. Even admitted he was fanboying out. And iDubbbz became the epitome of never meet your heroes. This is fucking Syndrome from The Incredibles. iDubbbz got his own fucking syndrome here. You created your own villain. And the worst part is you're such a shitty, insufferable person that in this version of The Incredibles, in this live action remake, I'm rooting for the fucking villain right now.
I reached out to you about that situation. I didn't ask you for money. I said, I need some advice. And then you sat there and told me, sometimes you just gotta cut the bleeding limb off and get a job.
Oh! He pulled the Asmongold line. Go DoorDash, bro. Put the fries in the bag. Hate to see it. What a dick.
Is that what you say to someone that you thought had potential?
I mean, at the very least, like, he definitely made your channel grow in a time when it was suffering. He kept you relevant in a time when you were struggling to find your new content and to get people to like you again. Throw the man a fucking bone. You're worth millions. Just... Man's homeless. Buy him a house. How much is a cheap house? You're worth... According to Google, Googling your Sorry. I'm still learning to public speak. Look. According to Google, your net worth is between 3 and 5 million? Estimated? Maybe more if you add in your wife's net worth too. Definitely more if you add in hers. Can't throw the guy a couple $100,000 to buy a house. You ain't got to buy him a nice one either. Just something to keep him from being homeless and be like, look, you own a house. Now you can never get kicked out. So he can just live his dream of being a content creator and the only bills he has to pay is electricity, food, internet, and phone. Without that house payment, without a rent payment, without the biggest bill, he wouldn't have to make a lot of views in order to make a living being a YouTuber. And you could even turn it into content to make some of that money back. This just goes to show how little he cared for him, how he didn't even view this guy as a human being. He was just content. If I was in Ian's shoes, I mean, I would have bought you a house, man. I would have bought you a small house. Nothing fancy, but you'd have had a normal person house. Couple bedrooms out in the country somewhere so it doesn't cost a lot of money. where you can be a YouTuber in peace and just live your dream. I'd have done that. And yeah, I would have made content out of it, but at least I'd feel good about myself knowing I did the right thing. This just goes to show that Ian doesn't really care about doing the right thing. God, the more I hear, like, the less I like this guy.
Or is that something that you said?
If it was even possible to like him any less than I already do after Content Cop H3. Stab your best friend in the back, and that's someone you could have chased for clout to chase his enemies for clout. Like, it's all just clout chasing at the end of the day for him. All of it. What a piece of shit.
Someone that you consider a waste. Answer me that.
Yeah, he thinks you're white trash. You're right. Waste is a good way to put it. Trash. Waste. The freak show. That now is he has to find a way to distance himself from without being the bad guy. So he just ghosted. And sadly, not enough people are going to see this video. And even of those people, not everyone's going to believe it. Honestly, I'm still not 100% sold. I don't think AirSoft Fatty has a reason to lie here, but you're also not bringing any receipts, so I gotta keep that skeptical mind open of going, he could be exaggerating some of it. He may be misremembering some of it. It may not be as bad as he's making on because his feelings are hurt and he's worked up. But iDubbbz hasn't exactly done anything to earn my benefit of the doubt right now, so I'm inclined to believe him. I'm open to be proven wrong. iDubbbz, here's your chance. Bring some receipts or something to disprove the stuff that he's saying, because right now I'm believing him, but I can be proven wrong. I'm open to that. But I don't think that iDubbbz will. I don't think that AirSoft Fatty's lying, if I'm being honest.
That, Ian, the very demon that haunted you and a random man in relation to you, my friend B and Sam, helped change me into the man that I am today. I was just a teenager when my fucking dad died. And now I'm sitting here in my own home that I own, that I had a hand in fucking building. You know what's even infinitely better? In the past year alone, I've lost nearly 150 pounds. Yeah.
Hey,
that's the truth smaller. Right there. But,
sounds like he did it all not... Yeah, it sounds like he did it all not because of you, but in spite of you. It's starting to feel a little bit like a victory lap. You know what? Take your victory lap, man. You've earned it.
You know what? I feel like this needs to be said publicly.
That's the way I came. Man.
Sad as it may seem, Sam has never once said a bad thing to me about you. And I mean that. He's never mentioned it. Never even mentioned you. He doesn't give a fuck. I mean, come on, man. He just helped a fellow man down in their luck. And right now, you know, I needed a friend, you know? You know, thank God.
How big a piece of shit do you have to be? That because you just refuse to be someone's friend, that they get better treatment from an actual neo-Nazi? Because don't get me wrong, Sam Hyde's a funny guy. And he's made some cool shit, Fish Tank, that show he had on Adult Swim. But he doesn't hide the fact that he's he's a neo-Nazi. And the neo-Nazi is treating this kid better than you are. What does it say about you, iDubbbz? Fuck, man.
Thank God he was listening. And he sent me B, and he sent me Sam. Because it's sure as hell not on Satan's left nutsack was it you. I'm going to be honest with you. That Content Cop situation's, and I mean, woof, rough. I mean, you're not really seeing the big picture, are you? And those friends of yours harassed my dude. And I mean, they seriously harassed him. Worse than any of the Stubbs harassment I've ever gotten. You gotta be kidding me. The fact that you were backing these guys up after they had CPS show up to that person's house. I can't even talk proper. After they had CPS show up to H3's house, dude.
Oh no, they're gonna label you they're gonna label you all the things simply because you said good things about Ethan. Your Zionist genocide support. Yeah, you're gonna be all the bad things. This is all the excuse they need to not take you seriously now. You went after his new friends. He's not wrong. My God, even AirSoft Fatty will mention the CPS thing. But they all look at that and go, and act like that's not as big a deal as it should be. And everybody, like, even fucking Queeman, dude. I'm, like, I usually agree with Queeman's takes, but he is just, I watched him reacting to Denims and this whole Ethan shit, and he is 100% on Denim's side. I mean, he tries to downplay it, but it's just simping. He's just simping for Denims. I think that's all it is. But some of the worst fucking takes, like, ooh, they called CPS. Like, it's not the end of the world. Like, really, you're justifying that over politics? I'm not a political guy. I don't care about the Israel-Palestine conflict. Don't ask me about it. I know jack shit about it. I don't care which side wins. I don't. Other people can handle that. I don't care. It doesn't affect my life. But the minute that you start taking your internet political beef into real life and doing things that are affecting him in real life, like CPS showing up to his house, yeah, it's going to affect his kids. It's going to affect his reputation in the neighborhood. It's going to affect the way the teachers and everybody views him. There's no defense for that. It's uncalled for. All because of an internet beef. And then sending actual human skulls to someone's house, that's... If any of that stuff had happened to the other side, any of that stuff, if Hassan had kids and they called CPS his house, or if they sent skulls to his house, it would be the biggest deal in the fucking world. And they all know it. So the downplaying of it is probably the most infuriating thing. Queeman doesn't downplay it as hard as other people. Like, he still admits it's bad. But my God, does he gloss over it and sweep it under the rug and move on to the next topic as quick as he can. And he's kind of crashing out in his comment section, too. I think it's the most I've seen him reply to comments. It is sad. It does feel like brainwashing, the way those people talk and act. It's like they're not living in the same world as us, and they're not abiding by the same standards. It's fucking wild to me.
6 fucking a.m. You have those... You ask someone who's dealt with CPS before. Do you know how terrified those fucking kids must have been, Ian? Or are you too fucking greedy and selfish to think about that?
It's the second one. That's why you said it. You know it's the second one.
About how their kids must have fucking felt. And don't even get me started, that idiot saying, oh, they don't form memories at 3. Meanwhile, scientists disagree. People with a degree disagree. People with half a brain cell disagree.
Anyone with children will disagree. These are childless people giving childless people takes. Like, this is what teenagers think because they have no frame of reference. Anyone who's ever spent any time around children will know that they develop memories at 2 and 3 years old. And you can start seeing them use those memories. They remember people, they remember faces, they remember experiences. Yes, they remember. They may not be able to recall it perfectly later in life, but those experiences stick with them. It becomes almost instinctive. Yes, they remember this stuff. And anyone who tells you otherwise doesn't have children or is just straight up lying and just trying to brainwash you or being malicious or just trying to justify their shitty actions.
But those are your friends, right? I don't get what the fuck it is. that you gain from chilling with these people. I mean, think about it like this. But you have a swastika sword, a Nauruzi symbol, and you're wearing the fucking Palestinian flag. You really think that was going to win your fans over, man? Do you really think something like that is going to be that gets people going, yeah, my ear jimmies are jingling? Or is that some shit that's going to get people looking at you like, hats off for the funeral march, because that definitely ain't the Ian we know. Bum, 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 bum.
I mean, it is a swastika sword. He's not fucking wrong. There's no excuse for it. And to anyone that's like, oh, it's from Bleach, it's part of an anime, blah, blah, blah. You know what? If you honestly believe that, if you honestly believe that the hilt on that sword doesn't look like a swastika, and that no one would ever confuse it with the swastika, it's from Bleach, people know that you're overreacting, put just that symbol on a t-shirt. Go wear it out in public around normal fucking people. Loud and proud, nice and big, right here on your chest. Like where Superman puts his logo. Put that symbol right there. No context. Don't put Bleach on it. Don't put anything else on it. Put just the symbol. Walk around with the camera. Let's see that video. Let's see how people react to it. Let's see if people get confused. Let's see if normal people have the takeaway that you say they do. But you're not going to do that. Because you know you're full of shit. And anyone defending it is either terminally online and hasn't been around real people or the general public or social situations in so long they've forgotten how normal people react to shit. So I invite anyone who thinks that the hilt on that sword is perfectly fine to prove me wrong, to put it on a t-shirt and wear it out in public. No context. Make that video.
Hats off, thumb in my pocket. Yeah, it's over, Ian. If rubbing shoulders with your enemies, if that's no big deal, then why are we here? Why did you cut me off completely? That's something I want to know. Why? Why was Froggy Fresh banned from the event? Was it because he was trained by Sam Hyde? The new Sam Hyde?
Yeah, it was that one.
Is that why you have
You're
me
correct.
blocked and everything? I mean, come on, it's the same thing with Ethan, right? It's worse because it's involving children. That's the worst part. You're doing this to a man and his kids. This ain't just a one-on-one situation now. This is becoming personal, bro. Since Full Force, I really have grown quite a bit. I've been asked to go on the Howard Stern show. Wilson, I've met Kai Cenat. I was even on ESPN puking at the Nathan's hot dog eating contest. Formed at 5 different bowling lads, all right? Opened up for fucking Playboy Cardi. And of course, at the same time, Travis Scott for Complex Con. And yet, I performed, I opened up for Shane Gillis for a sold-out show back when he was in Boston. Badlands Chugs fucking does regular work with me. I'm still uploading weekly to my channel. Still doing all this fucking work. Even when I'm a turtle with a shell that's had C4 put on it and exploded. I've started this weight loss journey. I've built a fucking home. I'm making strong friendships. And I've come to have a family now that I actually care about. A family that isn't going to turn their fucking back on me. Something you desperately need, and you ain't going to get like this. To be able to put my side of the story out there, how hard it is to find any semblance of normalcy in my life. Because that documentary has done so fucking much. I can't get a fucking 9 to 5 anymore. I can't go get a regular job, Ian. And that's the
Yeah, Ian hung this kid out to dry. This is the aftermath of like what's been forgotten, of the kid that just Yeah, we made the content and then you just left him behind to deal with all the bullshit and you moved on. This is what's left in his wake that he don't want to deal with. For all his speeches, for all his talk of empathy, where's the empathy for AirSoft Fatty?
That's the only reason. But that one video has more views than any of my videos combined. So, especially now that you're so PC, judgmental of your past, how come you won't address our friendship? How come?
Because you're not friends. It's not real, man. And it never was. I know that's a tough pill to swallow, but it sounds like he's come to terms with it, and he knows.
You choose to run away from your biggest video subject that you ever had, when your newest, biggest video ever could have literally been redeeming yourself by helping that subject turn things around. Where's my pat on the back? I want you to understand that I do appreciate all the opportunities that you've done, because it's brought me to a point where I am today.
Yeah, this whole video is just like an open letter to iDubbbz. And you know what? I kind of hope it gets bigger. And I hope that more people do see it. I know that like a lot of commentary channels have been avoiding reacting to it because they've just written him off as a lolcow. But I think they do need to react to it. I think they do need to see it. And I think more people need to see it. Because this is like an open letter that could have been absolutely avoided by iDubbbz by just not ghosting the kid, by just showing some common fucking courtesy. You didn't have to do anything special other than just answer a text every now and then and treat him like a human being. Kid idolized you. You were his, his internet inspiration, his hero. He felt special just meeting you and just occasionally responding to a text. You didn't have to do it every day, once a week or so. Just check in. Maybe add him in a tweet. Shout him out every now and then. I mean, not paying him for Creator Clash, ghosting him, hanging him out to dry, just leaving him and hoping he'll be forgotten and he'll disappear and you won't have to be associated with him anymore. Because that's what it's about. It's about you. All the people you associate with at the end of the day, it's about you. And all of that should be remembered with his newfound friends, his newfound love, his newfound community with Hassan and Frogan and that lot. They're not your friends, man. In the same way AirSoft Fatty wasn't yours. You're their AirSoft Fatty. And I cannot wait for all of them to do to you what you've done to him.
But there are parts that still to this day feel unfair. Unfair. It causes me fucking pain. And it sucks. Because I've done all that for you, but you can't have one conversation with me. I respect you as a creator. You know what I'm saying? You can't not have respect for you. You're a legend. The name iDubbbz TV is always going to exist in some capacity, whether it's a joke or something we take serious. I valued the friendship we had. I also need to understand that every time you point a finger at someone, there are at least 100 fingers pointing right back at you. How are you going to be so judgmental when, you've got yourself into situations like this and you've got them unsolved? True. I mean, come on. Do you believe in karma? Do you believe in redemption at all? Have you actually considered a redemption arc without coming back for me? And after all, you left me to the dust, man. You left me holding the bag. And the worst part is, that bag, to this date, is still empty. Just dust in the wind. So I'm reaching out today. Not with Hassan, crocodile tears, or some weird black guy in the background dancing with me. That makes no fucking sense. I'm not sitting here.
That's a shot at Sean to Black. Because why is he there? Like he's got no contact with Ethan. He's just, why was he there? They literally had their token black guy in there. Good lord. He even get called out by AirSoft. Shonda Black's even get called out by AirSoft Fatty. Why are you there? Who the fuck watches Shonda Black? Like, why are you involved in any of this? Like, no one references you. None of the people involved have a beef with you. I don't think H3's ever said your name on the podcast until this. Jesus.
Some chick gaslighting me as I gaslight her. But as a man, face to face, YouTuber to YouTuber, I'm going to read this to you real quick. I hope we can have an open conversation about this in the future. Maybe we can even work together again, but this time, it makes sense for both of us, and not just you. Drop your shield and hit me up. I'd love to film a Full Force 2 with you. So how much my life has changed.
Don't do that, Fatty. Don't do that. You can't make this whole speech you can't make this whole video giving a speech about how you're done and how bad you were treated and then still try to suck some clout off of him, man. No, you need to go in the opposite direction here. You need to double down on what you just said and be like, even if you offered me a second video, I'd say no. Or a third or whatever. Like, that's the move here, dude. Don't do that.
And heck, I'd love to come help you with Creator Clash 3. Matter of fact,
no, it's going to be a failure. Stay as far away from that as possible. That thing is going to crash and burn. And you need to be clear. Not standing there in the ashes when it's time to clean it up. Like, you need to be as far away from that as possible. Everyone needs to be distancing themselves as far from that as possible. Fatty, there are better ways to chase clout. There are better ways to chase clout. If I had something to offer, I'd do a video with you, but no one's watching me either, man. I'm just saying, there are better ways to chase clout. You got big enough to get the attention of iDubbbz without him. You can get big enough to get the attention of another creator. You don't need him anymore, just like he doesn't need you. Just like he's made that clear. He hasn't earned this grace. He hasn't earned this level of understanding from you. Fuck him. Don't. Now is not the time to high road shit. Because they wouldn't give you the same grace. They haven't earned it. Don't give it to them. If for some reason you see this AirSoft Fatty, from one small content creator to another, there are better ways to chase clout. If you really want to chase clout. Granted, I'm just some guy who gets off work and turns on his stream and, you know, plays video games or tries to hang out and hopefully make some content in the process. I don't take this that seriously at all. It's a hobby for me. But for you, I can understand why you'd want to chase clout. And there's better ways, dude. There's better ways.
Fuck the rest of this. Fuck the rest of it. There's a little bit more, but fuck that. All in all,
there you go. End it.
As much shit as you have done to me, I still would like to have a friendship with you.
No.
I still would like to have a conversation with you. I still would like to help you do good things. So please.
The best thing you can do, if you really want to be his friend, Fatty, if you're serious about the stuff you're saying, you really want to be his friend, the best thing you can do for a friend like that who's gone down the path that he's gone, the best thing you can do is walk away. Let him fall. Sometimes you can't save your friends. You got to let him fall. Let him fall, and then be there to catch him when he falls. But you got to let him fall. You just sit back and you wait for the inevitable to happen. And when he needs a friend there to lean on and all his new friends are gone, then you can remind him who you are. And then, maybe then, he'll actually fucking appreciate it. That's the best advice I can give you when it comes to the friendship you want to have with Ian for some reason. Not that he's earned your friendship, but You really want to take the high road? That's what the high road is. That's how you do that.
Unblock me. Let's talk. We'll hop on a call. You can record it if you wanted to, for all I gave a shit, but can we not have one conversation after all I've done for you?
Okay, oh, that's the end of the video. He just ends it there. Yeah, AirSoft Fatty. If this graces your eyes by some chance, I know I'm a nobody you don't know, but just trust my advice. I've had friends like him. I've been where you are when I was younger. And as an adult who's learned that you're, if he does talk to you again before the fall happens, it's to exploit you again. You're just going to be repeating history. It's going to be to make fun of you in a low-key way. It's going to be to use you for content. And not the kind of content that would help you get clout, but the kind of content that got you the hate you got before. You want to get actual fans. You want to be treated with respect and not just like a lolcow who's milked for content. Then that's what you got to do. You got to have the self-respect enough to go, I'm better than you right now. Sorry, I can't go with you on the road you're on. I wish you the best as your friend. If it doesn't work out, hit me up. But I can't go with you down that road. He might not care right now, but when he's got nothing else, yeah, he'll hit you up. And then you can give him this speech. And you can make some content with him. But you should also make him eat a little humble pie before he does it. So, there we go. We checked in with AirSoft Fatty. That was not the video I thought it was going to be. I was expecting to have some laughs at a lolcow, and I ended up actually coming out of that feeling bad for the kid. Because I was that kid in high school. And I was friends with those kids in high school. A lot of that hit a little too close to home for me to believe it wasn't real. Maybe exaggerated some of it. I don't know. Maybe iDubbbz will bring some receipts to show he's lying, but right now I got no reason not to believe him. So, anyway, guys, thanks for watching this one. We do these streams every night at 11 p.m., roughly, Eastern Time. Follow me on Twitter to see when I go live. If you like this video, like it, subscribe, leave a comment. And if you're a VOD watcher, I may not upload every day. Sometimes I don't have time to edit the videos, but they're coming on a more regular basis, so leave me some feedback. Let me know how I'm doing. Anyways, thanks for watching this one, and I'll see you guys in the next one.